All right, so with question number one, part A, a monopolistic competitive market is similar to a monopoly in that each business or firm is selling a unique product and they are the price setters. But also in the scenario, there is a downward sloping demand curve because of the fact that demand is highly elastic. And it's like a competition because of the low barriers of entry. It means that there are many firms to compete. With part B, its similarities to monopoly mean that the firms need to charge a price higher than the marginal cost in order to turn a profit, which is due to that elastic demand. And then, um, like a competitive market, in the long run, profits will run towards zero as more firms enter due to the low barriers of entry and drive the price down.
So question 2 asks to fill in the blanks with an equal sign, less than, or greater than sign, as appropriate to describe the long-run outcome in a monopolistically competitive market. So all of the variables it asks about can be seen in the long-run graph shown to the right. So clearly marginal cost is greater than average cost because that green line is above the blue line for average cost. And P for price equals average cost because those two intersect. MR equals MC because those two lines intersect and P is greater than marginal cost.
Hello, and welcome to Lab 17 for Chapter 17. Question 3 dealt with describing how each of the three markets participate in monopolistic competition and describe the strategies that sellers in the market use in order to differentiate their products. So let's look at the markets that the question is asking about. The first market is new car dealerships. So new car dealerships have monopolistic competition because although there are tons of car dealerships out there, each one has product differentiation because of their unique inventory. And this is a trend that you'll see in the other two markets that will come later. So essentially, the specific inventories that each car dealership has meets the needs and the individual tastes of the consumers out there. So because some consumers like to drive Subarus or they like to drive Toyotas or they like to drive Volkswagens, specific car dealerships that offer these brands, that offer these cars, will be able to have a clientele base based off of individual tastes. So if one car dealership is selling Volkswagens and the other car dealership is selling Subarus, they will still get customers. They're not really competing with each other per se because they have a monopolistic competition over those consumers in that area. Car dealerships will advertise using television ads or just banners or billboards or etc. to get consumers to come buy their cars and so to inform consumers of their price levels, of sales, of their inventory, all these things. Let's look at the next market. The next market is real estate. So the real estate industry is an extremely customizable market because every homeowner has individual dreams of the perfect house. So this looks like into very, very, very personal taste on what is the perfect house. This is again product differentiation. This comes in the aspect of home buyers wanting to live in apartments or condos, split level houses, houses with 4 bathrooms, houses with 2 master bathrooms, very, very specific tastes. And real estate agents have the ability and they're afforded this luxury of specializing in certain areas and offering certain houses. Basically, everybody wants to buy a house. So what this looks like is real estate agents are afforded the luxury of say they want to sell certain houses that are above this price range or sell certain houses that are in this area or sell certain houses that have all these amenities. So they have this luxury because people have so many different tastes and because there's so many products out there to sell. Real estate companies can advertise in a myriad of different ways, but one big way, especially with big real estate companies, is signal advertising such as banners or celebrity endorsements at athletic events. You'll see it all the time at sporting events. There'll be ads for real estate companies. So this is just one example of advertising and how they get their products out to the consumer base. The final market is the landscaping company market. So landscapers enjoy the benefit of a competitive monopolistic market because they can specialize their services and they serve a specific clientele base. So landscapers have this option because the consumer base is so varied. In a normal city, there are thousands of yards that must be maintained. But additionally, there are consumers that want a lot of different projects. So some consumers may just want a landscaping company to mow their yard, whereas some consumers may want full-on irrigation installations or tree installations, bush installations, flower installations, and because of all these varied tastes, again, product differentiation, because of all these options, landscaping companies can are guaranteed a clientele base. Landscaping companies can advertise in very many of the same ways as real estate agents and new car dealerships, and they also have the ability to use mood advertising because a good lawn will make other neighbors want to get the same services. So they'll ask about a certain landscaping company, and this will bring in more consumers and more money for a landscaping monopolistic competitive company. Thank you. I hope you enjoy this lab, and I really hope you learned something.
Yeah, question 4. Why do you think chain restaurants like Chili's, Applebee's, and TGI Friday are always changing their menus, introducing new appetizers, I don't know how to say that, and new cocktails? Are they all just trying to find the perfect menu, or is there something going on? So the market for these restaurants are actually called monopolistic competition, where all of them are selling similar type of goods and services. Like in this case, they're selling food and dinner and stuff. So like people come in, but they don't sell identical foods, so they're not a monopoly. And one characteristic of this this type of market is that there's product differentiation, where like they sell similar type of goods, but they don't sell the same goods. So therefore, like the restaurants are trying to differentiate themselves from the other restaurants by changing up their menus constantly. Thank you for listening.